Right now, sitting in your bank account, there is money your bank is using to make itself significantly richer. And the agreement that makes that possible, the agreement you signed without knowing it, is one of the most one-sided financial arrangements most people will ever enter into. Here is exactly how it works. When you deposit money into a high street bank savings account, your bank takes that money and lends it to other people. Mortgages at 5 and 6%, personal loans at 10, 15, sometimes 25%, credit cards at 20 to 30%. Your bank is borrowing your money, lending it out at those rates, and paying you, in many cases, 1.5 to 2% in return. The spread between what they pay you and what they charge everyone else is called the net interest margin. And for the major UK banks last year, that margin generated tens of billions of pounds in profit. Profit made directly from the gap between your savings rate and everyone else's borrowing rate. This is not illegal. It is not even hidden. It is simply how banking works. But what is hidden, or at least never clearly explained, is that you have options. And those options can change what your savings are doing for you dramatically. There is a second problem sitting on top of the first one, and it is arguably worse. Even if your bank is paying you a competitive savings rate, let's say 4%, you need to ask one question before you celebrate. What is inflation doing to your money at the same time? Inflation is the rate at which the purchasing power of your money decreases over time. If inflation is running at 3% and your savings account pays 3%, you have not made any money. You have stood still. Your balance is higher, but everything you can buy with it costs proportionally more. The real return on your savings, the number that actually matters, is your interest rate minus inflation. And for the majority of people with money sitting in standard high street savings accounts, that number is either barely positive or, in many economic environments, actually negative. Here is what that means in practice. £10,000 sitting in an account paying 1.5% while inflation runs at 3.5% loses roughly £200 of real purchasing power every single year, not because the balance drops, because the world gets more expensive faster than the account grows. Your money is working. It is just working for everyone else except you. So if better options exist, and they do, why do the majority of people leave their money in low-interest, high-street accounts for years without moving it? The answer is not stupidity, it is inertia. And banks know exactly how powerful inertia is. Research consistently shows that people are significantly more likely to stay with their current bank than switch to a better one, even when the financial benefit of switching is demonstrably clear. The same psychological friction that stops people canceling unused subscriptions stops them moving savings to a higher rate account. The process feels complicated, it feels risky, it feels like something to do later. Banks have spent decades making their products feel like the default safe choice and anything else feel like an unknown. That feeling is worth billions to them. There's also a deliberate design element at play. High street banks rarely advertise their savings rates prominently. They do not send you an email when a competitor is paying double what they are. They do not proactively move you to a better rate when one becomes available internally. The system is designed around your inertia, and it is extraordinarily profitable because of it. Understanding this is the first step to escaping it. There are 3 categories of alternative worth understanding. Each one serves a different purpose, and the right answer depends on what your money is for and when you might need it. First, high-interest, easy-access accounts. These are savings accounts, often from challenger banks and newer digital providers that pay significantly higher rates than high street banks while keeping your money accessible within a day or two. In the UK, names like Chase, Marcus, and Adam Bank have consistently offered rates 2 to 3 times higher than the major high street banks for identical levels of security. Your money is still protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme up to £85,000, the same protection as any UK bank. The only difference is the rate. Moving is straightforward and in most cases takes less than 20 minutes online. Second, cash ISAs at competitive rates. A cash ISA works identically to a savings account, except any interest you earn is completely tax-free. For higher-rate taxpayers especially, the after-tax return on a cash ISA at 4% is meaningfully better than a standard account at the same headline rate. The annual ISA allowance is £20,000. If your savings are sitting in a taxable account earning interest above your personal savings allowance, £500 for higher rate taxpayers, you are paying tax on money you could be sheltering for free. Third, for money you will not need for 5 years or more, the argument for stocks and shares ISA becomes compelling. Historically, the UK stock market has returned an average of 7 to 8% annually over long periods. That is not guaranteed. Past performance does not predict future returns. But for money with a long time horizon, an emergency fund should always be in cash. This conversation is about everything above that. The expected return differential between cash and equities over a decade is significant enough to take seriously. 3 things, in order, this week. 1. Find out what rate your current savings account is actually paying. Not the headline rate from when you opened it, the rate it is paying right now. Log in, find the account details, and write the number down. Most people have not done this in years and are genuinely shocked by what they find. 2. Compare that rate to what is currently available. The Money Saving Expert website in the UK maintains a regularly updated Best Buy savings table. Takes 5 minutes. If the difference is more than 1%, and for most people it will be significantly more than that, move the money. 3. Separate your savings by purpose. Emergency fund in an easy-access, high-interest account, medium-term savings in a cash ISA, long-term money, anything you will not need for 5 or more years, starts the conversation about a stocks and shares ISA. 3 separate pots, 3 separate jobs, each one working as hard as it possibly can. Your bank has been making money from your savings since the day you opened the account. There's nothing wrong with that, but there is everything wrong with letting it happen when better options exist, are equally safe, and take 20 minutes to access. Your bank is a business, a very profitable one. And like every business, it is designed to maximize what it takes in and minimize what it pays out. There is no personal relationship. There is no loyalty reward for the years you have banked with them. There is a rate, and that rate is almost certainly not the best one available to you right now. Start treating your bank the way it treats you, as a transaction. Find the best rate, move the money, review it every 6 months. The bank will not take it personally, and over a decade, the difference in your savings will be anything but personal. Every week on this channel, we break down one part of the financial system that is designed to work against you, and we show you exactly how to make it work for you instead. Subscribe so you do not miss the next one. The Sterling Exchange newsletter is in the description, free. 30 seconds. I will see you next Tuesday.